I'm super excited about the project you launched on haydenneedle.com, where actually consumers themselves can be there and change out the chair or the picture on the wall. So yeah, would love for you to talk about that project, how it came about, and really what was needed to implement it.
Right. So Hey Needle doesn't have a consumer app anymore. So when the company at large, Walmart, started to lean heavily into enterprise-wide AR, I didn't want them to get left behind, because even though it's not always app-based, for them it was a moment of like, well, we have all these 3D models that we're making, but we cannot leverage them for AR on our network or our app, which doesn't exist. So we were thinking also from what's valuable to the merchants first. We were thinking about that operationally, and so I used to do a lot of UX design, and one of the things that happens when you're shopping is you have this beautiful inspiration image, but then as you scroll down to shop, it gets out of your field of view very fast on mobile web, obviously. And then you're kind of left to your own devices. The purpose of the inspirational image is to help you shop. So it occurred to us that if we could lift all of that content, all of the shelf page, as we call it, the 7 dressers and the 8 sets of sheets and the different lamps that we were showing as the look, what if we could lift that up into the image and they didn't have to scroll at all to shop? That was the first thing we said to the merchants. Imagine if instead of curating just 7 things, like 1 TV stand, 1 dresser, 1 couch, what if the whole collection that you're trying to sell could be leveraged in 3D, and the consumer could shop that whole thing and configure a room? I had some assumptions of how it would improve performance, but with anything new, when I first saw the numbers, I'm like, let's cut those in half for what we're trying to promise will happen, to fund and expand the program. So for merchants, it gave them the ability to lift all of that content into the image, and the ideal is in real time, if something sells out or gets bad reviews, they just remove it from those choices. And if people go to hayneedle.com and then scroll down a little bit to build your dream room, they can play with this, and you'll see. So the next frontier is linking those options to an automated backend. So if they sell out or something, it just gets replaced. But so the merchant is able to have that flexibility, and then the consumer, it helps them shop, because again, they can look at everything we're trying to sell and see it in the room and configure it differently. And it has an enjoyment factor, but and we like that they're having fun. But it's kind of like, we're not here to sit in the aisle of Borders and read the book. We want you to buy something. So for us, it was a really great. Hey Needle is a closed system, and they really are an innovation lab for the rest of the corporation. They're very important that way. The Hey Needle leadership has always been really visionary, and I would even say brave, to try things on Hey Needle that haven't been done yet. And so we have it's a working title, is dynamic display. It's not very sexy or even intuitive. So that's been go ahead.
It's great. I mean, I've told you, have not decorated my house. I moved here a year ago, and I'm taking screenshots from websites and trying to put on a PowerPoint all the pieces together. Honestly, I've done this. So I think it's such a creative way to use 3D and easy for the consumer, right? So it's kind of like these baby steps of I always say it's amazing technology if people don't even realize it's 3D or what it is, right? They're just changing out chairs and tables and seeing this beautiful image. So the tech part kind of fades away.